Technically speaking, technically speaking, I ain't talking vegan when I said that I've been eating, making money on the side, but I use it for the main.
Man, I love that song, you know. And as that was playing, I was actually thinking like, dang, I haven't even been tagging her in my YouTube videos, right? I haven't been tagging her like music by, song by, you know, which I definitely do. I definitely need to give her, you know, her credit because she did her thing with that. Like she really embodied, you know, my story. She really embodied what Technically Speaking is about. Like, you know, I'm so grateful for her. Miss China White, great rapper, great artist. I love her for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But let's get into it. Okay, so thank you guys for taking out your day, for coming and learning with me, right? Most of this information is free, some of it is not, but at least you're showing up, at least you're learning. And I just want to thank you guys, right, for choosing me. And you could have chose anyone else to learn this information, right? But yes, so what I want to definitely talk about now is just ending phase one and going into phase two, right? Phase one of the computer science course, as you can see on my screen right here, we have been in phase one for about 7, 8 weeks. It's supposed to be a 6-week course. As you can see down here, you know, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all of these lessons that were supposed to be a week long, but I end up catching the vid, right? I got the vid, got that Rona, and I was down. It was my first time catching it. I don't believe I had it. I believe I just had the flu. Yes, it was like the super flu because it was like, dang, I feel bad, but I still had my taste and my smell. I didn't want to eat, so I couldn't say like, oh, I was eating up stuff because I didn't have an appetite. But for sure, I had abdominal pain, and I just didn't feel good. Right, I was throwing up from both holes, and it was just so crazy. And I was down for like 2 weeks. I kind of still came on and taught you guys a little bit. So if you're going through the phase one, of the, you know, the CCNA tracks, then you'll probably hear me, you know, with my voice, it probably changed a little bit. I was going through it. I was still trying to provide you guys with the material, and I did. It just, you know, it wasn't in 6 weeks. I think it was like in 7, 8 weeks. We kind of dragged it, but it's okay. We're here. We're done. We're done with phase one. Phase one, if you haven't started phase one or you're new to Technically Speaking, welcome. That's number one. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I want to let you guys know that phase one was about computer networking. We talked about the CCNA, right, which is Cisco's entry-level exam to computer networking. It's Cisco's way of how computer networking should be, which is really a general sense. Computer networking is kind of the same no matter what vendor. It's just Cisco has proprietary protocols and software that we use. And Cisco's like, you know, the world's leader in IT solutions. So why not, you know, learn the leader, okay? But yes, so we went over the CCNA track and we talked about computer networking, how computers talk to each other, right? I think that it is important. If you are new to tech, you're new to the IT, you want to get into IT, you want to build a career, you want to build some type of stream of income with technology, you have to know the fundamentals. And the fundamentals are, how do computers talk to each other? Like how is it that I'm able to speak through Zoom or whatever, through you guys, or through you know, text messaging or through audio? Like, how does that happen? And you should know that, you know, at least to a very high level of it, at least like a very, like, you know, fundamental knowledge of it, right? I'm not saying that you should be able to configure routers, configure switches and all that jazz, but you should be able to be like, oh, you know, computer talks because, you know, the computers send data packets across the network, through which the network is nothing but a whole bunch of routers and switches to, you know, the end device, right? That's it. It could be wired or wireless, right? Like, you know, basic knowledge you should know. So we're starting off here. What is a network? Accessing the network, IP connectivity, IP services, basics of security, right? And automating the network. We ended off on automation. And now we're going into phase two, which is let's start coding. I know you guys just couldn't wait to code, but do you even know what coding is? Do you even know what do you want to code? Like, you guys have been, which is nothing wrong with it, but you guys have been breathing down my neck for this coding course. And it has been almost a year since I've actually decided to like do a video and give you guys some coding knowledge. But it took me so long because I didn't know what you guys wanted. What do you want to build? No one told me like, oh, can you do a video on Python, or can we make games, or can you do a video on creating, mobile apps or something? Like, nobody's telling me anything. They're just like code, code, code. So since you guys don't know what to do, we're going to start off with the basics, right? Basics. What's the basics? HTML and CSS. That's the fundamental of really coding, because it builds you on that knowledge. Like, I don't know if you guys probably follow me on Facebook, but I made a post about MySpace days, and we were coding in MySpace days. We were literally HTML and CSS to make our MySpace pages pop, right? To add music, have, things go around, make things bold, colorful, interactive stuff where it's raining or whatever the case may be. Like, we were out here coding. And had we stuck to that, I stuck to it, but had we actually really stuck to that for real, you would be in tech, you would be a programmer, right? You would be a web developer. You would be making the minimum $60K a year right now, right? Working from home on your computer. Or it'd be freelancing, like selling your skills, building websites on the side, having a business to say, hey, I'm a web developer, whatever the case may be, you'll be making money. But it's okay. We're going to revisit those MySpace days, go back to HTML and CSS and take off with that, right? Let me make sure I can pull up you guys. I don't want to make this video long. I really just want to talk to you guys about ending phase one. Like I said, we talked about computer networking the Cisco way. So you guys who went through this phase one, you completed phase one, you should now be able to put some of these things on your resume, right? Because the whole thing of phase one was these labs, right? You guys should have did these labs, and the labs are like real life, what you're going to do in the real world, right? You really are going to configure the switch, configure the router, add a host name. You're really going to do these things. So have experience, at least in a lab environment. And if you're really serious about taking your career to the next level to become something like a network technician or a network admin or a junior network engineer or IT support specialist, whatever the case may be, if you're really interested, then you need to contact me so we can get you into some internship positions. I have some cloud services like AWS, Azure. I have clients that we're building apps for, and just different services that, I definitely need help on. And I can't pay anybody a full wage. That's why I'm working so hard to be like, okay, I need some employees. But first and foremost, if you guys need some type of experience to put on your resume, be able to actually put, I work for Technically Speaking as a network admin, you need to do some work for me, right? Like I said, I don't really have that much to pay you. Maybe we could do something like $10 an hour if you're really, serious about it. And if you're doing really good, we could probably bump that up. But just for you to get it on your resume, you need to do some work on my end that I can speak to, right? I want to vouch for you, but I want to make sure that I'm not just saying you could do something when you really can't, right? Does that make sense? Hopefully it makes sense. Okay. For the people that took the went through phase one because they want to get their CCNA exam for whatever reason, which, I'm saying, I have my CCNA exam, so I don't definitely get yours. You don't need it to be successful, but it helps you with selling yourself, right? Especially if you don't have a degree or a diploma, right? Well, really degree, you need that diploma or GED, but you got that, you got the CCNA certificate, you're down to make 80K on off rip, right? With the CCNA, make sure you're looking at these exam dumps, okay? It's telling you exactly, I'm not gonna click on it because I don't want to get into CCNA, but it tells you exactly what's gonna be on the exam. Shh. right? That's what a dump is. A dump is saying that, hey, these are some questions that's on the exam. Study them, study them, study them, so you can be aware that they're going to ask you, how many subnets are in this, or what's the last usable IP address, or, what's a LAN, or how do you configure a VLAN? Things like that you kind of want to know. So do that, right? Far as your resume, get with me. I did drop a link, a YouTube link, which actually should be in here. No, I didn't. I will upload that. But I did drop a link in the Discord, and I want you guys to go ahead and Dang, she just bust through the door. That's okay though.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Hi guys.
You had to get my food anyway.
And my parking spot stayed safe and sound for me to come back and park.
VIP parking?
VIP parking.
Yes. So you didn't have to walk.
That was the universe showing love.
Listen, she didn't want you to walk far.
She loves me.
But let me just finish this really quick, because I said I don't want to make it long. I'm just talking about ending phase 1 and beginning phase 2, right? So we left off with resume building. Make sure that you come to me for your resume so we can make sure that it looks proper, so you can start applying for different things. Dice.com, we're going to put your resume on, job boards like that, Indeed, all that stuff. So you can, market yourself, right? If you are in my mentorship program, then you already know that, just send me your stuff. I'll fluff it up and send it out, we'll do that together. But if you're not my mentorship program, watch the YouTube video of me explaining how you should update your resume, right? So that's the end of phase 1. Like I said, with this knowledge alone, you should at least be in a tech job, if not a better tech job, right? Even without the CCNA, just with this information alone, okay? Again, it depends on if you have good soft skills. It depends if you have good finesse skills. But nonetheless, if you're having any issues and you actually went through all of phase 1, reach out to me. You should be in a tech job if you're not already, right? Help desk or something. All right. So good. We're done. Phase 1. Now we can finally start coding. Okay. Now moving on to phase 2. I'm not sure how many phases they're going to be. Possibly 3 phases, because we have a blockchain phase, because that is, my track, the path that I'm going on is blockchain. So I just want to do a brain dump for you guys, which is I'm brain dumping all of my network engineering. So this is all how what I know from engineering, which is CCNA. I'm going to give you guys all my knowledge on the basics of coding, like HTML and CSS, because, I build websites for my clients. So I'm going to show you guys, how to do basic web development. We're going to look down up here, right here, with web development, JavaScript. I know a little bit of JavaScript, not, too crazy. I am going to recommend somebody if you want to be like a full stack software developer, or a back-end software developer, front-end, however you want to be. JavaScript is very important. I know a little bit. I know enough to get the job done, but I'm going to teach you guys how I'm able to finesse and do what I need to do for web development. Python, we're definitely going to talk about Python. I love Python. I use Python as a network engineer. Python is just so easy to do, so easy to code. I've built a couple games with Python, tic-tac-toe games, Snake. I even built blockchain. I built a ledger. It was just the first part, just a ledger, and a decentralized ledger. And I, did all that code with Python. So I love Python. It's great. That's all I have right now. We may go in. What we may learn is GitHub. I want you guys to know about GitHub. I want you guys to get familiar with it. It's where, it's version controls where we're actually going to share. But we'll get into that, share our code, but we'll get into that. Enrollment to be in phase 2. Phase 2, you should be a member of TS site, and you should be in the Discord. Most likely, if you're watching this video now, you're definitely part of the Discord. So make sure you go to www.technicallyspeaking.com and become a member. One, that's so I can have your email and I can send you all the updates that's needed, just in case Discord go down or YouTube go down or my Facebook go down or something go down, I can still reach you guys and let you guys know what's happening with TS. Obviously, we want to make sure that we have internet, right, and a computer or a smartphone, but definitely make sure we have Wi-Fi. Like, come on now, and a study partner, right? Recommended preparation. We're right here, you guys. Excuse me. Make sure you have a study partner. I would say get with someone that is part of the Discord, part of this course, and say, hey, I need help. Reach out in Discord and say, hey, anybody would like to study together? I'm available at nights, I'm available overnight, whatever. You guys need to be more personable. You guys need to learn soft skills. I get it that people want to code because they are introverts. They don't want to talk to anybody. They don't want to have all these meetings and stuff. But unfortunately, you're going to have to talk. Even, doing a job like coding, you still need to have soft skills, right? So start now. Start mixing, mingling, and start, putting yourself out there now. So when you get to your job, you get to your corporate job, you're not like, a fish out of water, right? You can finesse yourself because you have the soft skills. Okay. I just really want you guys to make sure that, I just want to make sure that you guys are successful in the IT department, right? So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, I need you to reach out to me and, everyone else, fellow students. Now, phase 2, like I said, is all about coding. We're starting off with the basics. We're going to talk about a little bit of high level of, I won't say everything, but a little bit of the basics, and then we're going to move over to blockchain. Okay. So again, this is just informational video. I just want to get you guys prepared that we're about to start coding. So do not jump over here unless you have completed phase 1, right? You don't have to literally, if you're not taking your CCNA, you don't want to get the certificate, you don't have to do the labs and go in on it, but you do need to review this information. You should know what a network is. You should know how to access the network. You should know what IP connectivity is, right? You should know what these things are, what these terms are, right? So it can kind of make sense when we're starting to code, because coding is computer language, right? Computer networking is how computers talk to each other. So we already learned how computers talk to each other. They build data packets, right? And they send it across networking equipment, right? Like routers and switches and servers. So now we're actually about to take it a step further, go deeper into writing, actually talking to the computer, writing things from human language to computer language, and having the computer do what we want the computer to do. Okay, so definitely make sure that you guys have completed phase 1. At the end of phase 1, we have automated the network, which is all about setting up your developer workstation. We're going to go over a little bit in our next lesson, but I definitely need you to at least take a peek at it, get familiar with it, because when we get into it with the next lesson, you're kind of going to be behind if you haven't even heard any of these terms, right? If you haven't even looked at this developer work setup, right? I'm not going to click on it. I want you guys to go through it yourselves. But again, this video is just to let you guys know phase 1 is over. Phase 2 is here. Next lesson is all about setting up your workstation, and we're going to start coding HTML and CSS. Using HTML and CSS. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns, reach me on Discord, or you can email me at support@technicallyspeaking.com. I check my emails sometimes, so don't be upset if I don't get to you ASAP. All right. And again, thank you guys for taking out your day. I really appreciate it. And until next time, we will be doing coding for real. All right. I'm done.
Technically speaking.